welcome back to my channel. I've taken some time off as I've done some additional research to get ready for my next two videos, so thank you for your patience. Hopefully it is well worth the wait. What I'm going to talk about today is coffee, and I'm going to let you guys know my top 3 coffee shops in Indianapolis. These will not be in any specific order, they're just going to be ones that I really like, and because there's so many good ones to choose from, I'm also going to give you guys 3 bonus ones. So they didn't make the top list, but I do think there's something special about them, so I want to share that with you. Let's get started. All right, so number 1 is going to be the Well Coffeehouse in Fishers. This one was actually newer to me, but I really enjoyed it. They have a variety of coffee options, so you have some pretty unique specialty lattes that will include things like ginger or lavender, which is pretty unique. In addition, there's some other kind of more high-end, I would say, options like a pour over. I actually got the 1 and 1, which is 1 shot of espresso served on the side with a short pour over, and they both were really, really good. A couple other things that make this location kind of special is the fact they have a meeting room, so if you're with a group and you need to get together to talk about a project or for work, this could be a really nice location. They also have some outdoor space. I think one of the reasons that it kind of made my top list is because I really like their mission or purpose, and that is to help people around the world, especially those that are impoverished in foreign countries. And so you can actually go and read their mission on the wall, which I think is pretty cool, and you can buy fair trade items there to also support their mission. And so I really love it when a business does not just want to make money, but also wants to do good. That really speaks to who I am as a person, and so that's one of the reasons it made my top list. So number 2 is going to be Commissary, which is in the Mass Ave area. You actually have to go down a small set of stairs. It's going to be a garden level, and it shares a space with a barber shop, so a little unique there. But it is really minimalistic and kind of artistic the way they have set that up, which really speaks to me. I only went there once, but I really enjoyed it. If coffee is not your thing, they also serve alcoholic beverages. I ended up not getting coffee here, but just by looking at how they have set up and their standards for quality, I am sure it is great. But I actually got their chai latte. I had a discussion with the barista about what kind of mix they use, because I'm not a fan of powdered chai mixes. I like to make sure it's actually a concentrate from the tea itself, and for them, that's how they do it. They have a local person that mixes the tea for them, and on their recommendation, I got oat milk with it, and it was delicious. And so I think they just have high qualities for the drinks that they put out. It's not going to be an extensive menu, but you are going to get a nice cup of coffee or tea when you go there. And it's a really just chill environment. I think great for those that are a little bit of hipsters, want a good Instagram picture, and so definitely check this place out. All right, and to round up the 3rd spot, I have 2 that I'm putting together, and that is Coatcheck Coffee in Mass Ave. It is basically in the lobby of the Anatheum, I don't know how you say it, that building that's part of the Rathskeller, part YMCA, part community building. They're right there, and they're literally in the lobby. It's a great co-working space, good for people watching, and their drinks are phenomenal. And the same owners do Provider, which is on I think 16th Street. And that place actually does alcoholic beverages as well, but it's pretty much the same drink menu. They're owned by the same folks. Again, very Instagram worthy drinks. The environment's very cool, especially at Provider. They have an outdoor patio. It just looks beautiful inside. Couple things to note there. 1, the drinks are a little pricey, so don't think you're gonna go get a really tall drink and it's going to not cost you an arm and a leg. It is a little expensive. You're really paying for the creativity and the lattes that they serve. They do Tinker Street coffee, I believe, so it will be a bit on the acidic side. If you're like me, I actually prefer a dark roast. Instead, I would recommend to get their specialty lattes. I've had a ginger latte from them. I've had their butterscotch latte, and their butterscotch is probably their best one. They actually, it kind of looks like a cocktail. They kind of shave off an orange sliver, and they actually burn it and then put it in your drink. And that sounds a little odd, but it's gives it a great taste. It's really, really good. And so if you like those kind of unusual type of lattes, this is a great place to go. My one concern, besides the price, is the fact that they heat their water for their coffee at a lower temperature than maybe what I prefer. And I actually spoke to a manager about this once, and so they tend to put their drinks already brewed at a lower temperature into a glass cup, and that tends to bring the temperature down even more. So if you're like me, you like a really hot beverage, do let your barista know that you want it heated to a higher temperature, or they actually can heat the cup up with some hot water so it doesn't lose temperature when they put their coffee inside. So a little tip for you there. All right, so those were my top 3. Really great places, can't go wrong with a good cup of coffee in those locations. But there are so many good options that I wanted to also tell you about some other places that I thought were really cool and kind of why I want to recommend them to you. The first is Rabble Coffee, and that is going to be on the Near East Side. It's the kind of coffee shop I think you would find in the Wicker Park or Logan Square neighborhoods of Chicago, or the equivalent of like the Brooklyn of New York. It's very much a place where you see a lot of flannel, a lot of beards, kind of threadbare furniture inside, posters on the wall. It's a very chill and relaxed environment. And the coffee's pretty good, not very expensive. It's definitely kind of like a neighborhood coffee shop, and I just really like the vibe that it had. And so if that sounds like something you are into, you kind of like that, not so pretentious, definitely not Instagram worthy kind of place, you just want a good cup of coffee from neighborhood shop, this is a good place to go. All right, so another kind of a bonus option for you is going to be Indie Coffee Roasters, and that's up in the Carmel area. So Indie Coffee Roasters actually roast their own coffee, which is pretty special, and they're known for their pour-overs. Some of the pros here is that they do have a variety of pour-over options. It's very much a kind of white, bright, minimalistic decor inside, and they have some outdoor seating. And so it is a good coffee option. Their coffee's a bit acidic for my taste, so that's why it doesn't make the top of the list. But if that is your jam, you like that kind of light roast coffee, then you might actually really enjoy it here. And so if you're on the north part of the city, you're looking for a good cup of coffee, check out that place. All right, and my third bonus recommendation for you is going to be Java House, which is in the Clay Terrace Mall area. They're a recent addition. I went there on a Yelp event and got a free cup of coffee, and I was really impressed. They focus on cold brew and nitro coffee, which is a trend that I feel is just now starting to really catch on here in the Indianapolis area. What I like about it is they've decorated it really nicely inside, comfortable seating, a variety of seating, so you have high tops, you have a long bar, you have some more intimate seating. The one downside is there's no outside seating, and especially since they are serving cold brew, I would think they would have some patio seating. Maybe that will change again as they've just opened up, but I would like to see that as an option. The coffee is a little pricey, and their pricing does not do a very good job of letting you know what the costs are. I was asking the barista how much things cost, and it was a bit like, this is the price, and then if you want this, this, and this, it's extra added on. And again, it just wasn't really clear on the menu what the pricing was. So that kind of was a knock and a miss for me. And so that's why it's not on my top 3. I do think the idea that focusing on nitro is pretty awesome. I hope more people get into that. I do think it's a great concept, and I think their location being in the Clay Terrace Mall is great. If you're walking store to store, you want a nice cold cup of coffee, that is a great place to stop and do that. So check it out. All right, so I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I literally have tried about 15 to 20 coffee shops in the Indianapolis area. That's why this video is a little bit delayed, but I try to share with you guys my favorite. I've tried so many different ones, and I'm so glad to know there's so many good coffee options in Indianapolis. And so instead of going to Starbucks, which I love Starbucks, there's nothing wrong with it, but definitely support your local coffee houses and check out ones that I have recommended. If I missed one, if there's another really great one that you want to see, let me know and I'll check it out in one of my next videos. All right, take care.